Criminals are using Pokemon cards to launder money? It's time for the latest news out of Japan. To everyone with doubts that the Pokemon TCG cards have any real-world value, the criminal underworld of Japan just proved their worth. Pokemon has grown to become one of the most successful franchises ever, reaching into many parts of daily life. While the anime is the most well-known part of the franchise, fans also enjoy the video games, live-action movies, a wide range of merchandise, and the trading card game, which is one of the most popular in the world. However, this popularity is now being used in an unusual way. The Pokemon trading card game has become so valuable that Japanese crime syndicates are reportedly using it to launder money. A former leader of a crime syndicate revealed to Shunkan Gendai Online, as translated by Automaton, that his organization used Pokemon cards to move stolen money overseas. According to the ex-crime boss, the small size of the cards, comparable to regular playing cards, combined with their high value, made them easy to purchase, transport, and sell abroad. Some Pokemon cards are exceptionally valuable, with the most expensive ones selling for over $5 million. Even cards from ordinary packs can be worth hundreds of dollars or more. The syndicate reportedly used well-known techniques to identify the most valuable cards. These cards often feature shiny foiling, which can be detected with advanced metal detectors. Sensitive scales can also detect small differences in weights, helping to pinpoint valuable packs. Using these methods, the crime group bought packs in bulk with illegally obtained money. They opened the packs, kept the valuable cards, and resold the rest at cost to recoup some of the expenses. Criminal activity surrounding Pokemon cards is not new and seems to echo the tactics of Team Rocket from the Pokemon series. While theft remains a common crime involving these cards, laundering and other schemes have also been reported. Tokyo police noted a sharp increase in trading card thefts during the second half of 2022, with many high-profile incidents making headlines. For example, an independent gaming store in Minnesota reported a theft of approximately $250,000 worth of Pokemon merchandise in February 2022. Just a month later, in Tokyo, a man was arrested for carrying out a heist specifically to steal Pokemon cards. In January 2024, a trading card shop in California shared a video of thieves stealing 35,000 Pokemon cards. The store mocked the burglars for not knowing which cards were truly valuable. Even a Pokemon card grading company wasn't spared, reportedly losing over $300,000 in a theft. It seems Team Rocket's tricks are alive and well in the real world. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of Pokemon card theft, and unfortunately, the trend continues. Due to the high value of some cards, criminals have turned to stealing Pokemon cards to resell them for quick cash. With the growing popularity of the Pokemon trading card game, the problem is only getting worse. The latest victim of such theft is Ace Grading, a company specializing in card grading. Recently, the company experienced a break-in, resulting in an estimated loss of £250,000 worth of various cards, including Pokemon TCG cards. Randolph, the founder of Ace Grading, stated that the stolen cards held both significant monetary and sentimental value. The police are investigating the incident to identify those responsible for what appears to be a targeted attack. Fortunately, Ace Grading's insurance provider has stepped in and will compensate customers affected by the theft, paying them the fair market value for their lost cards. While this whole scenario is wild, this isn't the first time that real-world crime has been connected to the anime industry, and Pokemon isn't the only franchise to get mixed up in shady stuff. Just last year, Neko Kurage, the artist behind the Apothecary Diaries, was caught evading taxes and because of this faced legal action. This case raised concerns about financial responsibility in the manga industry. A more popular case involves Ufotable, the studio behind the hit anime Demon Slayer, which was found guilty of hiding about 446 million yen, which is about $4 million in income between 2015 and 2018. As a result, the studio's founder Hikaru Kondo was sentenced to 20 months in prison, although the sentence was suspended for 3 years. Ufotable also had to pay a 30 million yen fine. But going back to the theme of people committing crimes based on popular anime settings, we've had several dark cases of this in previous years. Death Note has been at the center of some of these incidents, such as the manga murder case. For those who aren't familiar with the story, in September 2007, dismembered remains of a man were discovered in Belgium, accompanied by notes stating, "I am Kira." referencing the main character from the anime Death Note. This led the media to dub the incident the manga murder. The case remained unsolved until 2010, when 4 individuals were arrested in connection with the crime. Death Note also inspired several students worldwide to create their own Death Note replicas, listing names of peers and authority figures. Incidents were reported in the United States, Australia, and other countries, leading to suspensions and legal actions. And there was also a case of a 16-year-old girl in Japan who was reported to have killed her father with an axe in a manner that mimics the events of Higurashi when they cry anime. So we know that this Pokemon money laundering incident in Japan isn't the first time that crime has been associated with a franchise, and based on some of the cases we discussed, we know how serious it can get. Even if it's great that no one has lost their life or cost someone else's life in an attempt to roleplay Pokemon characters, committing theft and money laundering isn't good at all. What's funny is that many Pokemon fans suspected that the franchise is being used for money laundering and saw this reveal coming from as far back as 2022. Friendly reminder that Pokemon cards are a giant scam/money laundering tool that destroys the environment. They kill trees to use for cards and print with electricity. Horrible, and the art is not even good. Looks like knockoff Digimon, plus just screenshotted all these off eBay. This tweet dates all the way back to January 2022, and no, that's not a time traveler or a fortune teller, but a regular fan. Although it seems like just a hater trying desperately to degrade the Pokemon series and Pokemon cards, it does show that it's been suspected for years that Pokemon is being used for money laundering in some way. Well, now that the cat's out of the bag and these suspicions have been confirmed to be true, fans are having wild reactions to this information. Lots of fans are still stunned by it, as one of them said, "Wow, Pokemon cards have really escalated from childhood memories to high-stakes crime tools. This is insane." Many aren't shocked at all, but believe that this incident is a consequence of promoting an over-addictive gaming industry. With how loyal Pokemon fans are, you'd think they'd be upset by the fact that their cards are being used for crimes, but many are just having a laugh about how the operations of these gangsters feel a lot similar to Team Rocket. One fan said, "Team Rocket at it again. Prepare for trouble and make it double. Jesse and James." Another said, "Hell yeah, let's make some Yakuza trainers for them." So, Pokemon fans are having a blast making jokes about this scenario, and even those who want the criminals to be caught and imprisoned are saying, "Gotta catch 'em all," as a way of parodying the series. Some even said the gangsters were smart as hell for using Pokemon cards for crime. On a more serious note, several fans think that Nintendo is behind all of this and maybe in cahoots with the Yakuza. These were the words of one of them. Nintendo wouldn't be a part of the Japanese Yakuza without the ability to launder a bit of money. How else do you explain all the video game mechanics getting patented besides the obvious Japanese Yakuza trying to own everything, including creative freedom? Food for thought. Whether or not that's the case, we all should agree that this is a matter that needs to be put to bed as soon as possible. Fans began offering suggestions as to how the issue of laundering money using Pokemon cards can be resolved effectively. In the words of one of these fans, TPC could put an end to it if they sold individual cards on their website at a fixed price. Then they could just keep reprinting the ones out of stock as long as there is a demand for it. They choose to sell those gambling packages, but scalpers are the ones benefiting the most. While that is a brilliant idea, it's really up to the companies in charge to take action and see how this matter could be dealt with. In other news, Luffy's actor is being cancelled?